All right, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to do a review on, I'm going to do a review on the REVOLT Summit that just took place September 14th, 2019. So, and this was basically a collection of panelists talking about the Black agenda, voting, gerrymandering. There were a few other topics that were brought up in this. And I want to start this whole thing by saying there was so much potential for this summit. I was looking forward to it. I really thought that this was going to go in one direction, and it actually ended up going completely different. So let me just give you a real quick run up of who were in the people, the individuals that are in the lineup.
Are going to come out. I want you to give each of them an incredible round of applause. Give it up to my brother, Steve Pargett, Candace Owens, you know T.I., Killer Mike, Katrina Pearson, and Tamika Mallory.
Or that were in the lineup. T.I., Killer Mike, Candace Owens, a lady named Katrina, another lady named Tamika, and a guy named Steve. I'm not really familiar with the latter three individuals, but I think that they didn't have the right people on this panel, and that's my opinion. I think that Candace Owens definitely should have been there. Killer Mike should be there. I think they should have had, if they could have got like a Thomas Sowell or even a Neil deGrasse Tyson or a Ben Carson. I just wish they would have had intellectuals up there as opposed to activists and entertainers, because, you know, that's not all that Black people are. We're not just entertainment and protest organizers. So that being said, another thing I want to say is that there should have been more professionalism in the way this whole thing was conducted. Even the crowd didn't take this serious. I want to give you a couple examples, right? When you go to a funeral, and your attire, where you wear a certain attire, right? You wear dark clothing, fully covered for the most part, just showing respect to the person who just died, right? If you go to a graduation, you know, you're not going to wear a bikini to a graduation or club wear to a graduation. You want to show respect for your son, daughter, brother, or sister who just graduated. The same thing with a, political debate. You would assume that individuals going to a political debate would dress accordingly. You're going to a political debate. This is about actual things that impact your life or are very serious topics. And it should not be just as Steve kept saying over and over again.
First off, I want to acknowledge that this room feels like the cookout, and I feel super comfortable right now. This is dope. For real. Mike was talking about the potato salad. That's what we're about to cook up right now, right?
And a cookout with potato salad. I don't know what the obsession with potato salad is, but if you've seen this, you know the few speaking points that he had, or speaking parts that he had, the word potato salad was used at least 3 or 4 times. Anyway, it was very nauseating. Another thing, the moderator. Maybe I don't understand how a moderator should work or should operate or conduct himself, his or herself. I would assume that the moderator should only should never give you his opinions. He should only introduce the panelists and then also ensure that people stay on track. But I should not know what the moderator's political views are, and the moderator shouldn't shut down individuals. A good moderator shouldn't shut down individuals while they're trying to answer a question or present their point. It just takes away from dialogue. But the moderator had more speaking time than most of the panelists. It was really weird. So it was almost like he was an additional panelist and also fulfilling the role of moderator. Maybe they didn't want to pay 2 people to do it. I don't know. Anyway, so getting into it, right? The way it started off, I thought it started off great, kind of. I thought it started off good. The moderator came out, gave his opinion, and kind of let you know what his viewpoints were, which...
How many people are pissed off about what you see in the country? How many of you all know we can do better? How many of you all want somebody to do it? How many of y'all voted in the last election? How many of y'all didn't? Yep. So we got an amazing panel, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a conversation about all of these issues, from who's in the White House to who's trying to get into the White House, to how we vote at the local level, to the census that's taking place and how that's going to impact us, to the fact that hip-hop plays an amazing role in...
Basically, he's upset with this current administration, and he wants people to get out and vote. Okay, fair enough. He introduces everybody. He has everybody kind of run down and give, their points of views on a few talking points that he brought up, and just run down and tell them who he is, who they are. And so they did that, and that came out good. I like how Killer Mike, doubled down on the fact that you should not just put by the wayside the fact that people died for you to have the right to vote, or even any rights that you have in this country. That's very important, and so you should know that, and you should care about that, and let that be a motivation for you to do whatever it is that you're doing, as far as whether it's voting, whether it's just being a good citizen. That should be your motivation. So I agree with him on that. But then it slowly started to fall apart after Candace Owens started to give her point of view. I think that if the crowd is there to listen, it's not about being entertained, it's to listen to different varying ideas, right? To listen to them, extrapolate information from them, things that you find useful. Maybe go back and take this and start a conversation at your own table or at your own house or with your own peers, amongst your own peers, with data points that are brought up, or fact check it yourself, But Candace starts talking, and she gives facts. I mean, and she's been on, if you follow any of her stuff, she's been talking about the same thing for a very long time, about things that plague the black community, which there is statistical evidence to justify this. And so the crowd starts booing her as she's running down her list of things that are affecting the black community. The crowd starts booing her. There's actually a guy in the audience who's trying to yell over what she's doing. He's doing this for like a solid 10, 15 seconds before I think Killer Mike, or the moderator, finally says something, and then Killer Mike jumps into it. And it was like, wow, okay. That's really, just shows the ignorance. But then you have T.I. And so T.I., I lost a lot of respect for T.I. Not saying I had very much as far as from the perspective of a political strategist or even intellectual. I looked at him as a very entertaining entertainer, but even that, I don't really like to say that I support him, because his message has always been the destruction of the black community. And even though it was not worded in such a manner, he glorifies selling drugs, pimping women, and guns. I mean, I don't even know how many people T.I. has killed in all of his songs, but he's killed a lot of people in his music. I know in his first album, he actually went to hell and killed the devil, So he's very violent. And then, he glorifies being a dope boy and selling drugs that kill the community. And he's selling to people in his community, meaning he's selling to black people. He's selling crack to black people, which, if your mother's strung out on crack, the offspring has a high probability of being a crack baby, where this baby is addicted to crack at birth, or even worse, has all these birth defects, right? And can never be a normal citizen, and then becomes, a problem in schools because now they have anger issues, or, they can't focus and they can't compete with their their fellow classmates because they were born with a disadvantage, and this guy glorifies that, right? So, but he just acted like in a very emotional female on here. It was really, and I'm not trying to say that females are the only ones that are emotional or it's okay for females to be emotional, but the characteristics and the way he conducted himself, this little frail man was arguing with two females, Candace and Katrina, just for voicing their opinion or voicing, you know, not even completely being able to get a thought out. But yeah, it was really, so that's when it started to get dysfunctional. Killer Mike had his moment where he, you know, gave his little talking points and, you know, talking about, you know, trying to stop people from bickering. But the issue and the way that he did that was he started saying the N-word multiple times.
Brother, go ahead.
Niggas!
Go ahead.
Niggas! Niggas! Nigga! Stop it!
Niggas. Now, he's saying that he's utilizing the word, I think it's N-E-G-U-S, like niggas, which means Ethiopian king, right? So, but he tried to shorten it to just mean like king or royalty, but it doesn't mean royal. It's not like you don't use that for a woman. Like you wouldn't call a female a niggas, right? And you wouldn't call someone who's not Ethiopian niggas either, right? That's because you wouldn't be an Ethiopian king if you're not an Ethiopian and you're not a male and you're not the king. But then it brings up a very very interesting point now too, because I'm assuming that now this term is going to be utilized in rap music, and they're saying, well, we're not saying nigga, we're saying niggas, right? But then what happens when, you know, white people start saying niggas? Are black people going to freak the fuck out over that? Hopefully not, but you know, that's just something that I kind of making a joke of, but still. So again, things that I thought were very interesting in this this summit, when Candace Owens talked about, you know, actual issues in the black community, like the single motherhood rate being at 75%, and you know, 75% of black boys in California, I live in California, 75% of black boys in California not being able to pass a basic reading test.
Testify in front of Congress is the illiteracy rates that are facing black America. 75% of black boys in California can't pass a reading exam. Across Baltimore, they looked at 5 schools. They couldn't find a single black boy that was a single black child that could pass a basic reading or a math exam. So I caught a lot of slack because I said,
you know, or even when Killer Mike made the statement,
Progression, because you have the economic means here. You have a school system where 50% or more are named for black educators and emancipators, yet you are not graduating 50% of your students.
Atlanta's graduating less than 50% of its students. That's a problem. Education is a problem in the black community. In our community, education is a serious problem. The lack of dual parent homes is a single problem. I'm not saying that you have to marry your kid's mother or kid's father, but at least co-parent, right? And it sucks. You have to sacrifice. I have to sacrifice, right? I have a daughter as well, and her mother and I are not together, and I had to move. You know, I had to move from, I was stationed in Japan. I had to leave Japan, get off active duty, and, you know, come into the reserves over here just so I could be close to my daughter. Yeah, it's a sacrifice. But I don't want to contribute to this continuing revolving door of little girls growing up without their father and looking for a man, random guys to fill that void of not having a father. Or, I don't have a son or anything like that, but if I had a son, I wouldn't want a son who grows up without a father and tries to find manhood in a group of gangbangers, you know? I think this could have been very powerful. I think this could have been a very powerful event, but the crowd, the cast of people, even Killer Mike, like he brought up some good points where he listed a group of names of individuals that you should look up.
This is your homework. Fuck trying to convince you. I want you to go home tonight. I want you to listen to Thomas Sowell. I want you to listen to, hold on, I got you coming. You look, my nigga. All right?
Yes,
So,
right there.
I want you to listen to Walter E. Williams.
Yes.
I want you to listen to Antonio Moore. I want you to listen to
intellectuals.
Yvette Carnell. I want you to listen to the economic strategy of Elijah Muhammad and Marcus Garvey. I want you to listen to the political strategy of Stokely Carmichael. I need you to get on your study and prove yourself worthy.
Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams. He should have brought up Ben Carson. He should have brought up Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know, they don't only have to be political people. You know, they should be inspirational people, right? So you think about Ben Carson, you know, a neurosurgeon who went from extreme poverty to now the head of HUD. But not only that, that's not the big accomplishment. The big accomplishment is he became a neurosurgeon. You know how smart you have to be a neurosurgeon? Or Neil deGrasse Tyson, an astrophysicist, a world-renowned astrophysicist, right? These should be the people that we look up to in the black community. Entertainers should not be. We shouldn't look up to a LeBron James like, oh, I want to be like LeBron, or I want to be like Michael Jordan, you know? And it's sad because you see black kids who, especially black boys who are like, okay, well, the only way I can make it is I got to play basketball, or I got to rap, or I got to be able to dance, you know? But it's like, no, there's other ways, you know? You can finish school. You got a lot of rappers who talk about dropping out of school. I think T.I. dropped out of school, you know? T.I.'s talking about how there's so many more millionaires now, black millionaires now, and how we're progressing and everything like that. But he's looking at it from his perspective, from where he's at. He's an entertainer, and everybody around him who's a millionaire, they're entertainers. You know, they made their money off selling songs that belittle the black woman, take away from the value of black life. Like when you rap about killing people, you're taking away the value of that group's life. And when you exclusively rap about killing black people, because he's not rapping about killing white people. And I'm not suggesting that he does that, but I'm saying he's talking about killing black people. He's talking about he as a black man killing another black man. He's taking away from the value of the life. So it's a huge contradiction and hypocrisy when the same man is out talking about Black Lives Matter, but they don't matter to you at all. Because if so, you wouldn't have made the money you made from music. Same thing with Jay-Z. Jay-Z, in one of his songs with Meek Mills recently, I think it's called What's Free, he talks about how he sold drugs, got away scot-free, and made a whole bunch of money doing it, you know, and it's just like, you killed people in your community. How many people do you think OD'd from the drugs that he sold? Even if it was just one person that OD'd, you have the blood on your hands of somebody who lost their mother, or lost their father, or lost their son, or lost their daughter, you know, lost their best friend, because you wanted to sell them drugs in your community. But that's a whole nother thing. So I think the professionalism in this video, in this forum was horrible. I think, you know, not only should the crowd have come with a mindset of we're here to learn, or we're here to hear the different viewpoints, and then maybe debate amongst ourselves. Even the questions, when they got to the questions.
P. Diddy, appreciate you for this event, man. This shit is lit. I love all this culture talk. But Tip, my question for you, OG, you know, all I do is a coup. You know what I'm saying? I just got a question. I was talking to Molly in the studio, and I was asking her, like, man, I was asking, like, how should I come and talk to Tip, you know, knowing that he's my idol, you know what I'm saying, to ask a question? Because I know you got all artists coming at you. My question would be, what would you say to an artist that's trying to approach you, that look up to you, what to say to you? You dig what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, I was listening
I got you. I was
to
listening
Candace.
And that was really, man, oh, God, that was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing to watch that. Like I said, this thing started off good, it got weird, and then it just fell apart. And the questioning is where it was done.